Hello and welcome. This is Michael Gale, Senior Sales Director with DocuWare. And today I would like to show you a solution that DocuWare has put together for the CDC screening forms that are required for visitors and employees to fill out as they return to the workplace. So DocuWare is a full content management application that has everything from workflow capabilities to artificial intelligence indexing capabilities to an amazing repository that can keep all of your documents secure and provide access to any user on the right device at the right time. So if you'd like to see a full demonstration of the DocuWare platform, please reach out to your authorized DocuWare reseller, and we would be happy to provide you a demonstration. But today we're going to go through a solution that is actually going to show you how you can capture this information automatically from your employees and visitors that are coming into your building. So the way that we're going to do this is we're going to actually use forms that are on the front door. And what they're going to look like is something like this. So there's going to be a sign right on the front door of the building that allows a visitor and an employee to just use their mobile device so that when they walk up to the front door of the business, they can just use the camera app on their phone and they can just hover right over the form or the QR code that they need to access. And as they do that, they can bring that up on their mobile device. And so now I could fill out my screening form before I ever step foot into your building, before I touch your computer, before I touch your pens or touch your iPad. And so this allows me to, again, from my mobile device, fill out the information of who I am, who I'm there to visit. By the way, as we start to fill this out, we're going to send some email notifications to let the person know that, hey, Michael Gale or the person that's there to visit is there and maybe waiting in the lobby. So again, this reduces the contact and the touch points that we have between those visitors and employees before they've answered the screening questionnaire. So I'm actually going to go over into the DocuWare interface and I'm going to present this right from the browser within DocuWare. So we're going to show this from Google Chrome today, but these forms are exactly like they would be if it was on my mobile device. But here I can just select, hey, I'm a vendor that's here to visit. Who are you here to visit? I've just got a list of all the different employees in the organization. The nice thing about this list is it's tied into their user account in DocuWare. So they're going to get an email notification to let them know, hey, Michael Gale, or I'm going to use Mickey Mouse, my fictitious character today, is here to visit you. So I can just say, hey, I'm from the company Disneyland. We're first name Mickey, go by last name Mouse. I can put in my email address. I'm actually going to use my email address here so that you can see how this communication works. And what's going to happen here is as I fill out this form, again, Michael's going to get notification that I'm here, but I'm also going to send an email back to Mickey with a copy of this form that they've filled out at our organization. So here I can report on any symptoms that I have. I'll just say that I have not had any symptoms, but obviously if I have, watch what happens here. If I've said, hey, I've got a muscle ache, it's going to let me know, hey, admittance is not granted, please leave. And we can't submit the form because obviously we're not allowed to come into the building. But if I eventually have no symptoms, and then I am then presented to the questions from the CDC, I can start to answer these and say, no, no. By the way, if you answer yes to any of these, obviously we're not going to have you in the building. So immediately you know that admittance is not granted and you get a nice little red X letting you know that you're not allowed to come in. So we can continue just to say no. And once we've answered all of these questions to their satisfactory, they will then show up as admittance granted. And I get a nice little green checkbox here. I can then sign the form and then click on submit. Now, what's happening within DocuWare is the person working behind the front desk or maybe a receptionist is going to get a notification that somebody is there to visit. So now in DocuWare, inside of our lists, we're going to see that there is a visitor temperature check that needs to take place. So if we click on this, we're going to then be presented with the form so that we can actually go in and take this person's temperature. But by the way, in the meantime, there's been a notification, right, that's been sent out by DocuWare to let Michael Gale know, hey, Mickey Mouse just signed in and is waiting for you in the lobby, right? So we could have that notification go out as soon as the person walks in the door so you can go ahead and get down to the lobby, or we could even wait until the temperature check has happened to let you know that, it's safe to come down and get that person from the lobby or from the reception area. And so now we can continue, and the receptionist can now take the person's temperature. So we'll click on temperature check and we'll say, hey, this is 98.7. We'll click on set. And now we're going to put a stamp directly on this visitor screening form with that person's temperature. And what happens as soon as I click set on that stamp is that person gets marked as in the building. So now they come over to another list, so then we can track both the employees and the visitors that are currently in the building. So this form will continue to sit here until this person actually checks out. So in the meantime, let's imagine that maybe an employee has just walked up to the front door and is ready to come in as well. Notice that the employee form is much easier to fill out, right? We want to make it very quick so that we can get the employees in the door as fast as possible. So here the employee can just pick their name from a list. They could obviously type if they wanted to filter that out. And then again, they're asked the same questions. If they report on any symptoms, Will Ferrell's going to let you know, hey, you got to get out of here. But if you have no symptoms, we can continue to answer those same questions by the CDC. And ultimately, as soon as we've answered those to a satisfactory nature, we're going to be given access to the building. So now we can click on submit. And then the same process is going to happen in DocuWare, where an employee temperature check is now going to take place. So the same thing happens here. We get a form. We can now take the employee's temperature. We can say, hey, that's 98.7, and then we can set that right on the form. And then the same type of a process. The employee now is marked in the building along with the visitor. And now we have two different steps here where we can now check people out. This could be an automated process, right? So maybe for a visitor that's come into the building, you want to make this very easy for them to check out. So we could have the same process. We open up my Microsoft Word document here, and you notice that I have the exact same QR codes here, but now I'm going to be checking out of the building. So now as an employee or a visitor, I could now scan again with my phone that employee code and that, or I'm sorry, the visitor QR code. And when I do that, I can open that up right on my phone here, and I'm now presented with the visitor checkout form. And watch, I'm gonna bring open both of these applications at the same time, so you can see here's the visitor in DocuWare. And now we're gonna go over and we're gonna click on our name for Mickey Mouse. And when we click on our name, it's going to now allow us to click on submit. And when we do that, it's going to now check the visitor right out of the building. So an automated way, letting visitors know that they can fill out the form to come into the building and then obviously leave the building as well. That same process could take place with employees, so they could scan a QR code and select their name, or we could have a stamp similar to the temperature reading where we just allow this person to now check out from the building. And as soon as we apply that checkout stamp, again, they disappear from our list. And now all of our visitors and all of our employees have left for the day. If we want to go back and search any of this information, we could go back and say, hey, I'd like to see all of the employees that came into the office on 7/22. And I could search that, and now I'm presented with the employee name, the time in, the time out, their temperature reading, and the same thing for the visitors. If I come over and I search on the storage date on these for today, I can see the visitor screening form, again, see where the visitor's from, who they were there visiting. I can also see their email address, their phone number, and again, their time in and time out. So if we needed to contact this person for any type of contact tracing, obviously that would be very simple to be able to do. So thank you for watching today's presentation. If you would like to see more on the CDC screening forms, or again, just a general presentation of DocuWare and maybe some of the other workflows or forms that you use as an organization, and how could those fit into a solution like this, please contact your authorized DocuWare reseller. And again, we'd be happy to give you a demonstration of the product. So thank you very much, and have a wonderful day, and stay safe and stay healthy.